Hi guys, welcome back to 17 square meters garden. It's a cold and gloomy autumn day, and today I want to give you guys a tour of my little urban balcony garden in October. So if you're searching for a previous tour, there is no tour in September. I made a tour in July, and then I combined August and September together into end of summer balcony garden tour because not much has changed in between those 2 months. And now I want to show you how the balcony looks in October. And what is interesting, I just came back from a 3-week holiday and no one was looking after my plants during those 3 weeks. So I also want to show you how the balcony looks when it's on its own for nearly a month. For the most part, everything looks fine. I did lose one plant, which I'm gonna show you in a moment. And before I left, I wanted to clean all of those annual planters here. And I ran out of time and I just left everything as it was, and I am so happy because, as you can see, there are still plenty of flowers in them. When I arrived, I opened my window and I saw all of those purple bacopa flowers. I was so happy because I was thinking, well, if bacopa is alive and it's an annual plant, then probably most of the plants are just fine because I'm sure it rained, otherwise they wouldn't be looking so pretty as they do. But yeah, I didn't decorate for fall yet because, I was not here, and now it's mid-October, so I'm not sure if I am gonna decorate for fall. I will probably share this in another video if I make anything, but yeah, I have a lot of projects in fall, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be decorating my balcony or not. I will see. So yeah, anyway, let's go. Let me show you how the things are looking. There are still plenty of summer flowers to enjoy. Okay, so today let's start from the middle of the balcony. I'm just going out of my living room. So when we turn to the right, that's the corner that I will be working on, as I mentioned in my previous tour. I recently bought this Taxus baccata, which is looking like really wild, and for a long time I didn't know into what shape I want to prune it, and now I know. I will try to make, so I will remove all of the branches below and I will try to shape it into sort of a tree shape. You know what I mean? Like, not a bubble, but a little bit rounded shape on top and clear trunk. I was thinking about a spiral, but if I were to make a spiral shape, I think it would look too formal for my garden, because in my garden there's everything and nothing, so I don't think that this kind of formal shapes would work. So a bunch of perennials here that will be cut back. The blue and green hostas will be cut back, and a steel bee here in the corner as well. So there will be not much left, so I'm thinking I will bring some spring bulbs here, some pots with spring bulbs. This wall is something that I'm really enjoying. Also, I recently showed you that I'm training my clematis to go above the windows here and there, and it's growing so rapidly. I'm all the time amazed with this plant. Like, when I bought it, it was just 2 tiny branches. Maybe it was about this size, like this much. And in 4 months, it just grew massive, which is great. I'm hoping to have some flowers already because clematis takes a few years before it matures and before it produces flowers. But given the fact how quickly it grows, I'm thinking I might have flowers next year already in spring. So here, just a bunch of random things. Euonymus, coprosma that has its fall winter colors already. As you can see, it's bright red in winter. In summer it's more of a green and white, and it turns this bright red in winter, which I really love. My hellebore already has flower buds. I just discovered recently. This one blooms really early. It has beautiful white flowers in December. I have another one that blooms a little bit later. Also have tutorial on how to grow hellebores in pots if you're interested. Okay, as I turn around, as you can see, the purple bacopa is just blooming absolutely beautifully. The best I have ever seen it. I think even in summer it didn't bloom so beautifully. I still have some pink impatiens. Diacias are already looking done, but because other plants look still great, I'm still keeping it. But soon enough I will be planting spring bulbs in these pots, and I'll probably plant something on top, maybe some pansies or something. You will see that I have some empty pots here and there on the balcony because I'm already kind of preparing for where I will be planting my spring bulbs, because I have a ton of spring bulbs that I'm gonna plant, so I'm just preparing the pots already. Here is one of my chrysanthemums. I keep them from some chrysanthemums I keep from year to year, some of my favorite cultivars, and they are full of buds. Especially this one, it's like super old, 4 years old maybe or something. Here also more empty pots. So I'm thinking this Taxus baccata from here, I will not keep it in this corner because I really don't like how it looks here. I will start to train it and I will move it in here. I want some height here because it's quite of an empty space in here. It needs some height, so I'm gonna train it into that tree form here. And in this corner I'm gonna probably remove that last pot and I'm gonna put some, I'm already searching for some wooden privacy screens or some wooden panels. I think I want to cover this entire wall here and go all the way there to create more privacy for my neighbors, because I mentioned already this issue as well. Here we have my geraniums that I just repotted because they needed the fresh soil. They were growing in the same pots and in the same soil for like 3-4 years. I repotted them, I pruned them a little because they were badly attacked by caterpillars. So they're looking a little bit sad, but I think they have enough time to bounce back before winter arrives, because I keep them on the balcony in winter, which I don't recommend. They are not winter hardy, but mine are quite old, and I think the older they are, the more resistant they become. But if you want to keep geraniums from year to year, definitely protect them from frost. Festuca glauca is looking lovely in here. Begonia, Gustav, which I absolutely love. It's not winter hardy, so I'm gonna have to transplant it and take it indoors for winter time. And my pansies, which this is what makes me the most happy, because I left my baby seedlings all on their own here outside for 3 weeks, and every single one of them survived, and they are really nice size now. Not sure if they are gonna bloom this fall yet, but what I'm thinking is that I don't really want to buy pansies to put in these pots in fall, so I'm gonna plant spring bulbs and then pansies on top. But I think I might use these pansies. I know that they are not in flower just yet, but at the same time I don't want to buy so many pansies, because I have 9 pots, so if I were to plant 4 I would need like 36 pansies, and I have 30 pansies in here. So I don't think I will be buying pansies. I might just plant these ones, even though they are not in flower yet. I know it will look a little bit awkward probably at first, but then in spring they would bloom, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Here's my composition with spring bulbs. The only composition with spring bulbs, fall composition, that I planted so far. I planted it for in a video. And here is the plant that died while I was gone. It's my Japanese maple. This one is called something orange, I forgot now. So I think that it's not dead. I think there's still life in it, even though it doesn't look like. And something that I wanted to say is that a lot of the time people will think that, well, if my plant looks dead like this, I need to do something about this. I need to repot it, I need to prune it, I need to change the location. And oftentimes it's those other things that you do with the plant that actually cause the plant to actually die. So what I recommend is just leaving the plant as it is. Like, it's gonna stay here. I'm not gonna do much. I'm just gonna water it a little bit. But in our cases, you know, Japanese maple, they go dormant in winter, so it doesn't need much water. But I'm just gonna keep it in here as it is, and we'll see what happens in spring. If it leaves out, I'm gonna see which parts of it are dead, which parts are still alive, because right now it's hard to tell when everything looks dead. So come spring, I will see how this plant looks, and if it's really dead, then I'm gonna have to replace it with something else. But for now, just gonna keep it here, not gonna do anything about it, because I do not want to put more stress on this plant by repotting, by pruning, and all that stuff. So it's just gonna stay here and wait until spring. Scabiosa still has a few blooms on it. Scabiosa is looking really pretty, and bees absolutely love it, as well as this bacopa. This bacopa was bees and pollinators' favorite plant on my balcony this year, I think. Here I have begonia that still blooms. I'm surprised that it survived. The other one that I had, the flashy pink one that was at the back of the balcony, it survived as well, but it broke actually. So I had to remove it because the stems were really, really heavy. Coleus still looks amazing. It's a monstrous coleus. and some bees are enjoying the blooms, but I'm gonna remove it pretty soon because I want to plant spring bulbs in this container. And I do have a clothes that I'm overwintering indoors. I have like 4 or 5 different ones. You can take cuttings to overwinter it, because obviously I couldn't take this entire plant indoors. I don't have a space for this, but I do have some that I overwinter, so that's okay. This Japanese maple is perfectly fine. Nothing happened to it. It was in a proper size pot. This other one was in too small of a pot, and that's why I think it dried out, and that's what happened. Here another chrysanthemum that I bought last year. It has very funny blooms. The blooms look like fireworks. So I kept it, and it doubled or tripled in size since last year. So I'm super happy and can't wait to see it in bloom. My blueberries did not produce this year yet, but I'm hoping for some berries next year. I harvested a bunch of herbs. I had basil here that I harvested and dried. I still have some mint. I cut it back, also dried it, but it's started to grow new leaves already. They will overwinter. I have one here and one back there. There are 2 different species, and I'm gonna overwinter them outside because they are frost hardy. Some parsley and some chives, they are also staying on the balcony so that I can harvest them like year round. And here there is not much. Some alpine strawberries that are still producing. I recently harvested some, so I'm not sure if there are any left. Oh, there is one left. They're really large. And just a bunch of cuttings. There are my foxgloves that I also left outside, and they are perfectly fine. I will have to repot them soon into their final pots, and they are also gonna stay on the balcony, and they are gonna bloom next spring. Another funny thing, someone actually asked me recently, like, why don't you have a chair, you know, to sit on the balcony and to enjoy your flowers? And I actually do have a chair. I mean, I have a table in there, right? Table and 2 chairs to eat or to take drinks. And here I have a larger chair when I can just chill and take coffee. It's a bit dirty because most of the time I'm repotting things in this corner instead of chilling and drinking coffee. But yeah, so when I do sit and chill in this chair, that's the view, and I absolutely love it, because like this you can see all the balcony, all the blooms at the same time, and I think that's really pretty view. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing some updates on my balcony, on seeing how it looks in October. The temperatures are still mild, quite mild, so I still enjoy a bit of balcony gardening, which I'm definitely gonna share with you in the upcoming videos. I have hundreds and hundreds of spring bulbs to plant, and some other maintenance and stuff like this, so definitely gonna share that in upcoming videos. But for now, thanks for joining me, and see you again soon.